Good morning, BSED 2A. May we please stand up and may I request Miss Alwina to lead us a prayer.
Let us pray. We ask that you give us strength and courage to do our daily tasks with a positive attitude and an eagerness to learn. Guide us through each lesson and help us understand complex topics that may come our way. Amen.
Okay, so before you sit, please pick any scattered pieces of paper under your chair and please make sure that your chair is aligned in front and beside you. So, okay, before we start our discussion, let us first see our classroom rules. So first, may you please read the letter G, Miss Alwina.
Get involved.
Okay. So, getting involved means that you must participate actively in class discussion and activities. Next, letter R, it is respect everyone. Yes, it would help you if you respect everyone. It means that we must acknowledge and honor the opinions and feelings of others. In my class, I don't tolerate anyone who would humiliate others just because someone commits mistake or has different opinion. Please always remember that we are all still learning. Next, we have letter O, open your mind. Open your mind means be willing to learn new things and consider different perspective, because throughout our discussion, we will hear different perspective and opinions and we must accept them. And last one is W, work hard. So for me, this is the most important rule because you must put forth your best effort in all tasks. Be brave and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Trying your best is already a great start and I appreciate it so much. Okay, so before we continue, do you remember our last topic? Yes, Miss Alwina.
Our last topic was Aponebolinayan and the Sun.
Okay, thank you, Miss Alwina. So, are you excited to embark on a journey to discover a new story? Okay, let's start with a game. It is called So What? So, this will be the mechanics of our game. The class will be divided into 4 groups. Each group will receive a set of rice plants ready for harvest. There are 3 panicles, clusters of rice grains, for each group to harvest. Each panicle contains a riddle. Okay, for our scoring, the first group to answer all the questions correctly will earn 4 points. The second group to finish correctly will earn 3 points. The third group will earn 2 points. And the last group to finish will earn 1 point. So each group will be given a flag. When a group believes that they have answered all the questions correctly, they should raise their flag. If any answer is incorrect, they must reattempt all the questions on that panicle until they get them all correct. So did you understand? Okay. I'll now distribute the rice plants. Okay, are you ready? Let the harvesting begin. It seems like the first group raised their flag. Congratulations to Group 1 for answering all the riddles, and congratulations also to Group 2 for answering the questions. Okay, so let's answer all the riddles. Our first riddle. I have no legs, but I travel far. I make things grow, though I fall from afar. I'm clear as glass, but can't be seen. Without me, fields would turn brown, not green. What am I?
Rain.
Yes, it is rain. The second riddle. I'm the tool with teeth, but I don't bite. I work the soil and make it right. Without me, the fields would be tough and dry, but with me, crops would grow high. What am I?
Plow.
Yes, it is plow. Last is, though I'm underground, I rise to meet I rise up to meet, bringing growth to the surface, my job never complete. I'm silent, I'm slow, but crops trust me, so what am I?
Roots?
Yes, it's Roots. Okay, thank you for your active participation. So I know that you noticed that our game is all about planting, farming, and harvesting. So now, do you have any idea on what our topic is all about? None? Okay, so our topic for today is all about how the Tinggian learn to plant. Okay, so before we delve into the story, let us know first the characters. Let us start with Kadaklan. Who wants to read? Yes, Miss Karel.
Kadaklan is the greatest deity of the Tinggian people who live in the mountainous interior of Luzon, the northernmost island of the Philippines. Revered as the thunder god, Kadaklan resides in the sky with his loyal dog, Kimak. In the myth, how the Tinggian learned to plant, Kadaklan plays a crucial role in guiding the Tinggian people. Recognizing their need for sustenance, he decrees that they must learn to cultivate crops to survive.
So he is a prominent deity among the Tinggian people. For them, he is the creator figure. He is responsible for the creation of the world and life. Through his divine intervention, the Tinggian people gain the knowledge necessary for agriculture, which becomes essential for their way of life. Okay, next, please read the description, Miss Ashwin.
Kabonian. Kabonian is the friend and helper of the people, and by many is classed above or identified with Kadaklan. This spirit gave the Tinggian rice and sugar cane, taught them how to plant and reap. Kabonian taught the dawak and the sayang ceremonies to a woman called Dayapan, and she, in turn, taught it to others who were then able to cure sickness.
Okay, so Kabonian is also a significant deity among the Tinggians. He is closely connected to agriculture, harvest, and the bounty of nature. So last, we have Dayapan. Can you please read Mr. Ivan?
Dayapan. Dayapan is a heroine who brings the knowledge of agriculture to the Tinggian people. She learns how to plant crops through guidance from divine beings and then teaches her community how to cultivate the land, transforming their way of life from hunting and gathering to farming.
So she's a woman who plays a crucial role in teaching her community how to plant. So I think this was mentioned a while ago, the ceremony or the ritual sayong. So can you please read Miss Cardenas?
Sayang ceremonies are traditional Philippine healing and protection rituals, primarily practiced by indigenous communities, such as the Tinggian people of the Cordillera region. These ceremonies are deeply spiritual and are conducted to appease spirits, ask for blessings, or drive away illnesses and misfortunes. The ceremony is typically led by a shaman or elder known as a Mumbaki or Babaylan, who performs chants, dances, and offerings to connect with the spirit world. Offerings may include food, betel nuts, and other ritual items. Music, especially with gongs and traditional dances, are integral to the ceremony.
Okay, thank you, Miss Cardenas. Now let us proceed to our myth. Okay, since I can find a video online, I have prepared a simple pop-up book so that you can all visualize what's happening in the story. Okay, can you please all read?
Long ago, the Tinggians did not know how to plant and harvest as they now do. For food, they had only the things that grew in the forest and fish from the streams. They also did not know how to cure people who became ill or were injured by evil spirits. Then Kadaklan, the great spirit who lives in the sky, saw that the people often were hungry and sick. So he sent one of his servants, Kabonian, to the earth to teach them.
Okay, so since they they rely solely on gathering and fishing, it means that they were vulnerable to food shortages. So Kadaklan, the Great Spirit, shows compassion for the people's struggles. Okay, next, Miss Bayatan.
Dayapan, a woman who lived in Kaalang, had been sick for 7 years. One day, when she went to the spring to bath, a spirit entered her body. This spirit had rice and sugar cane with him, and he told her to take them to her home and plant them in the ground. He said that after a while, they would grow large enough to reap. When they were ripe, she was to build a granary to put the rice in until it was needed, and a sugar press to crush the cane. He said that when those were finished, she should perform the ceremony sayong and then she would be healed.
Okay, so Dayapan's 7 years of illness symbolize the prolonged suffering, which is common in many myths to highlight the importance of healing and the transformative power of knowledge. The idea that a spirit can enter her body and provide guidance suggests that healing is not just physical. It's also a spiritual one, common in many indigenous cultures, where health is seen as a balance between body and the spirit. Okay, next.
Dayapan was amazed, but she did what she was told. While she was trying to plant rice and sugar cane in the ground, the spirit again entered her body and showed her what to do. Since then, the Tingyan have planted crops every year, and because they do as Kabonian taught the woman, they have plenty to eat. When Dayapan had reaped the first rice and cane, she began to perform the ceremony sayong. The spirit came again and directed her. When it was finished and she was cured, he told her to take a dog and a cock and go bath in the river as a sign that the ceremony was finished. So she went to the river and tied the dog and the cock near the water. But while she was bathing, the dog ate the cock.
So, can you please continue, Miss Julipa?
Dayapan wept bitterly at this and waited a long time for Kabonian. When he came, he told her that if the dog had not killed the cock, no person would die when the people did this ceremony. However, the dog killing the cock was a sign, and now some would die and some would get well. Dayapan called all the people and told them the things the spirit had taught her, and they could see that she had been made well. After that, when people became ill, they called Dayapan to treat them. And it was as the spirit had said, some died and others were made well.
Okay, so before this, the Tingyan relied on foraging, but now they have a stable food source thanks to the spirit's guidance. So, the spirit repeated appearance signifies the deep connection between the spiritual and the physical worlds. His entering Dayapan's body symbolizes a transfer of knowledge and support, showing that divine beings are involved in the well-being of humans. So, did you all understand our myth? Okay, so before we proceed, I'll ask questions first to see if you did listen. Who is the great spirit in the myth? Yes, Miss Bayatan.
Kadaklan.
Yes, it is Kadaklan. So, next question, who did Kadaklan send to teach the Tingyan people?
Kabonian.
Yes, okay, yes, it is Kabonian. So next, who was the woman who learned to plant rice and sugarcane? Yes, Mr. Kalub.
Dayapan.
Yes, it is Dayapan. Next, what ritual did Dayapan perform to complete her healing? Yes, Miss Ashley.
Sayang.
Yes, it is Sayang. And last, who ate the cock while Dayapan was bathing?
The dog.
It is the dog. Okay, so who among you can give me the line from the last part of the story? Yes, Miss?
Some died and others were made well.
Yes, it is. Some died and others were made well. So what is your interpretation of this? Yes.
The story acknowledges that as a natural part of life, that death is an inevitable part of existence, especially in the context of agricultural life. Just as plants must wither and die to give rise to new growth, human mortality is a necessary part of the cycle of renewal and progress.
Okay, yes. The praise some died and others were made well conveys a powerful contrast between two outcomes. The harsh reality that some members of the community succumbed to illness or misfortune, while others experience healing and recovery. So it reflects themes of survival, the fragility of life, and the transformative power of knowledge and intervention. So, which is a central theme of the myth. This line underscores the importance of the lessons learned from Dayapan and the community, highlighting the duality of faith and the consequences of their actions. So before I conclude, I want to share this thought. There are moments when giving up feels like the only option. Family issues, personal struggles, and academic pressures can weigh heavily on our hearts, so making it seem like too much to bear all at once. Our past mistakes may haunt us, whispering reminders of wrong choices. But I urge you to let go of that burden and focus on the present moment where hope and new beginning await. Let's always remember that. Please all read.
We all face the same end, but it's not that defines us. Be proud of who you've been. Every scar and smile made you stronger. In this fleeting moment, let the present be your masterpiece.
Okay, thank you. Now I'll give reward to those students who I think actively participates in our discussion. First is Miss Balot. Thank you. Congratulations. Next is Miss Bayatan. Congratulations also. And last is Mr. Kalum. Thank you for your participation. So that is the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening.